Hi there. I'm Moan Michelle, and I am in DC, Washington, DC, in the United States of America. I am filling in today for Philip, who is on retreat in the Surrey Hills. So, welcome to Tea with a Druid. I think I'm live now, so I hope to see that people are tuning in, and I will say hello as you do. But first, I wanted to introduce myself just a little bit and to tell you a little bit about the organization that I've helped start here in DC, and to talk a little bit about rewilding and some of the things that we're doing here in the DC area to bring people a little bit more into nature. I started an organization a few years ago called Sanalsak. Sanalsak is Scottish Gaelic for into the wilderness. And that was because I believed that I needed to be in the wild a whole lot more than I typically was during my working week and my usual days. So we began to talk. We built a collective organization that strives to bring all pagan peoples who would like to join us into wild spaces. We hike, we do waterway and park cleanups, we picnic, we wade in swimming holes and rivers, we camp together. We're planning a slack packing trip, or kind of a backpacking trip for spring, and we do everything possible to bring anyone who would like to join us into the wilds of the DMV, the greater DC area. We do this because we believe that the more we can recognize our place within the natural world, the more we can be at home in the natural world, the more in tune with spirit we are in our everyday lives. I think this is probably a common way of thinking amongst many Druids. I'm hoping that resonates with all of you who are watching as well. We actually borrowed a prayer and began to say a prayer a couple of years ago based on the writings of John Muir, who is an environmentalist, or who was, an environmentalist and an activist in the U.S. He was central to starting the Sierra Club, which is an environmental activist group and preservation group in the West. His writings and journals were central to setting aside the Yosemite Valley Park, the Sequoia National Forest, and a number of wild spaces in the West. And so as part of his journal, he had written, it was like a musing that he had written one afternoon, and we were very captivated by it. And so we've now turned it into the central prayer that we say when we gather at any of our meetings. And so I'm going to recite this for you very quickly, and then we'll do a quick grove meditation. And I will actually stop just a second and start to say hello to a few people. Wow, 49 comments. Oh, now they're appearing on my machine. Brian, I see you. Hello from Michigan. Tasia, hello from Minnesota. Ellie Talent, good evening. Vivian Von Benedict. Lawrence Reuter. Adi. Julia. Pat. Angelica, thank you for joining me. Kathy, Rob, Ellie, Dean. Wow. Fantastic to see you all. So the prayer that we have adopted from John Muir's journals goes as such. The sun shines not on us, but in us. The rivers flow not past, but through us. We are of the stars, the trees, the flowers, and they are of us. Earth song and every bird song, wind song and tremendous storm song is our song, our very own song, and sings of our reverence. So I hope you enjoy that as much as we do. And I think you can see there in that prayer, the ways that we begin to conceptualize ourselves as being one with nature, a part of nature, a part of the web of all things when we gather. And the way we try to think about our activities when we go out into the wild Much of this, of course, was informed by our work in the various Obot graves, it's just central to being a Druid, I think, to think of ourselves at home and at one in many of the different wild places around our natural landscapes. So hello to Rob, to Jasmina, to Rachel, to Zane, to Jan, to Wolfgang. Thank you for joining me. Now, if you would, let's actually go into our inner groves now. Let's, wherever you are, however you're enjoying your day, if you would just close your eyes, find yourself in your body. And with me, we'll take 3 breaths together. 1, for the earth below us. And 2, for the skies above us. And 3, for the waters all around us. And if you would, take another moment just to feel yourself, the weight of your being in your body. Close your eyes, find yourself in the here and the now. And with your eyes closed, then find yourself standing in your inner grove. Now, if you visited your inner grove, you might look around, right? If you're very familiar with that grove, look around and see, are things in place? Does everything feel right? What are the features of that grove that you always look for? Is the sky the same color? The earth the same color? And if you're new to your grove, then what does the earth beneath your feet feel like? Is it warm? Is it cool? Is it soft? Is it hard? What color is the sky? What color are the trees? And what do the trees all around you look like? And then often, if you're like me, almost every time I visit my grove, there's some sort of message. It might be a messenger. It might simply be a token, some element of the colors or the sky or the feel of the place on a particular visit. But look around and see if there's something waiting, a message, an ally, an individual, a gift, a token that might be waiting to speak to you or remind you of something that you already know. And let's just sit here for a little bit in our groves, enjoying the quiet, the peace, the stillness. Breathe deeply. What smells are coming to you? What sounds might you hear? What do you feel on your skin? What might you taste on your lips? And then slowly, wherever you are, when you're ready, open your eyes and rejoin me. I would love to hear more about what you might have experienced in the grove in the comments after. I would love to hear more about how you experience the wilderness in your own area of the world, where you feel most connected to others, where you feel most connected to the wilds. And in closing, I'd like to recite Mary Oliver's When I Am Among the Trees, which is one of my favorite poems by one of my favorite poets. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches and they call again. It's simple. They say, and you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy and to be filled with light and to shine. So thank you for joining me today in a very brief tea with a Druid. I believe Philip will be back next week, and I would love to hear from you and to talk with all of you about your journeys and your time, your experiences in Obat. Have a lovely evening or afternoon.